Some schools have bullies. This one has something that eats souls. When two American teens uncover a sealed classroom inside their high school, they awaken a frequency that doesn't just haunt, it traps. Whispers echo through empty halls, time fractures, and deep beneath the gymnasium lies something ancient, waiting to feed on fear. Not all hauntings scream. Some hum, some remember, some never let go.
Ghost Stories, the Haunted American School.
They said Westbridge High had secrets buried beneath its tiled floors. Located in a small Ohio town, the school looked normal on the outside. Typical red brick buildings, a wide football field, and banners of school pride hung in every hallway. But deep within, past the locked doors and unused classrooms, there were places even the janitors refused to clean. 16-year-old Eli Parker had always felt the school was off, ever since he transferred there from Denver. He was quiet, observant, the kind of kid who liked reading horror novels in the back of the library while others played sports. When he heard rumors about Room 233, a classroom that had been sealed off since the 1990s, his curiosity turned into obsession. According to whispers, the room used to belong to a science teacher named Mr. Whitaker, who mysteriously vanished after a series of disturbing incidents: students collapsing, books catching fire, a janitor found hanging in the boiler room. The school board labeled it all coincidence, claimed the teacher had a nervous breakdown, and sealed the room without explanation. But there were signs it wasn't over. Eli first noticed it in late October. The bell rang at 2:30 p.m. and students poured into the halls. But as Eli bent down to grab a fallen pencil near the second-floor science wing, the air shifted. The crowd noise vanished. The lights flickered. When he stood up, the hallway was empty, and a door that had never been opened before creaked wide. Room 233. Dust swirled in the air like mist. Desks were overturned. A skeleton model lay shattered on the floor. In the corner sat an old VHS player, its red light blinking, and next to it a tape labeled, "Do not watch." Eli did what no sane person should. He took the tape. That night, in his basement, he watched it. Grainy footage showed students sitting in class, Mr. Whitaker at the front, teaching about chemical reactions. Everything seemed normal until the camera shook. A loud screech echoed. The students began screaming, clutching their ears. One by one, they collapsed. Whitaker stared into the camera, unmoving, whispering something impossible to hear. Then darkness. Eli paused the video. In the reflection of the TV behind him, a shadow moved. He spun around. Nothing. The next day, he told his best friend Jenna Morales, a sharp-witted girl who edited the school paper. At first, she laughed. But when he showed her the tape, her smile faded. "It's cursed," she whispered. "That's not a school tape. It's something else." Strange things began happening. Jenna's laptop froze with images from the tape. Their science teacher, Mr. Dugan, collapsed in class screaming about voices. A black mold began spreading on Eli's locker door, despite janitors scrubbing it clean. Determined to understand the truth, Eli and Jenna returned to room 233 after school. The hallway leading to it was unnaturally cold. The lights above buzzed and dimmed with every step. As they reached the door, they noticed something new. A message scrawled in chalk. "Bring him back, or join him." Suddenly, a locker slammed open behind them. Papers scattered. A figure flashed across the hallway mirror. Mr. Whitaker, pale, eyes sunken, reaching out. They ran, but the message stuck with them. Bring him back. What did it mean? Was Whitaker trapped between worlds? Jenna, digging through old archives, found something chilling. Before his disappearance, Mr. Whitaker had been experimenting with sound frequencies that could disrupt the veil between the living and the dead. He claimed to have found a way to communicate with spirits through resonant tones. He wasn't insane. He was opening something. And now, it was open again. The days that followed were anything but normal. After revisiting room 233, Eli and Jenna couldn't sleep. Shadows moved where there was no light. Phones rang with no one on the line. Every night at 2:33 a.m., Eli's digital clock blinked out, then restarted, always displaying the same cryptic message: "I'm still here." Jenna, ever the investigator, dug deeper. She discovered that the school once had a hidden sub-level beneath the science wing, now sealed off, rumored to be used for Cold War experiments in acoustic warfare. The entrance had been bricked over after Mr. Whitaker's disappearance. That sub-level was where Whitaker reportedly tested his resonant gateway. "We need to find a way in," she said one afternoon, eyes red from lack of sleep. Whatever he opened, it didn't close. Eli wasn't convinced. "We're just kids, Jenna. No, we're the only ones listening." That night, they broke into the school through the back loading dock. Eli carried a flashlight and crowbar. Jenna brought the VHS tape and a portable speaker. The halls were empty, cold, humming with a low frequency just beneath the threshold of hearing that made their teeth hurt. They found the bricked-over doorway in the science wing, right where the janitor's old blueprints had marked. The wall was weak, hollow. It took 10 minutes to break through. Behind it, a rusted stairwell descended into darkness. Each step downward felt heavier, as though gravity pulled harder the deeper they went. The smell of damp earth and old chemicals filled the air. Their flashlights flickered constantly. At the bottom was a steel door, slightly ajar. Inside, they found what looked like a sound lab. Microphones, tuning forks, broken speakers, and rows of cassette tapes. In the corner sat a massive machine, surrounded by chalk-drawn symbols on the floor. A frequency generator, crudely built but still humming. Beside it, another body, desiccated, wearing a lab coat, a name tag still barely readable. Whitaker. Jenna gasped. "He's dead, but he didn't vanish. He died trying to close it." Suddenly the machine roared to life. The symbols on the floor pulsed. A shriek tore through the room, not through sound, but inside their minds. Blood dripped from Eli's nose. The lights burst. In the dark, they saw him. Mr. Whitaker's spirit, still tethered, writhing in pain, held in place by the machine's resonance. His mouth moved, but no sound came. Jenna, shaking, pulled out the tape and slipped it into the machine's reader. Maybe this is the missing piece, the one thing that can set him free. As the tape played, the air shifted. The shriek turned to a low hum, then faded. Whitaker's ghost stopped struggling. He looked at them, clearly, and mouthed 2 words. "Thank you." Then his body dissolved into ash. Suddenly the temperature rose. The frequency stopped. The machine's lights went dark. But before they could leave, a second voice echoed, deep, guttural, and ancient. "Another gate opens." The ground shook. From the walls, black sludge oozed. Dozens of whispering voices filled the room. Eli grabbed Jenna's hand and ran. Back up the stairs, through the broken wall, into the hallway. But the school had changed. It was no longer night. It was day. And everything looked different. The banners read, Westbridge Academy, 1988. Students walked the halls wearing 80s fashion. Teachers spoke to them as though they belonged. "We didn't just awaken Whitaker," Jenna whispered. "We stepped into the past." A girl in a floral dress walked up to them. Her eyes were cloudy white. "You don't belong here," she said softly. "He's still hungry." The hallway lights dimmed. All the students vanished. They were alone again. Only now they weren't in their own time, or their own dimension. They had entered the Echo School, a twisted version of Westbridge that existed in parallel, born from the energy Whitaker once unleashed. And the thing that truly fed on fear, it was still here, watching, waiting, feeding, and it knew they were the ones who broke the seal. Eli and Jenna stood frozen in the hallway of a school that looked like theirs but felt entirely wrong. The walls were the same, the lockers in place, the tiled floors gleaming. But everything was eerily quiet. The air smelled of mildew and burnt paper. The clocks didn't tick. And there was no sound, no footsteps, no life. Only the low, vibrating hum they had come to recognize. "This isn't just the past," Jenna whispered. "It's a memory, a fractured echo of everything that ever happened here, and everything that shouldn't have." From behind them, lockers creaked open, by themselves, one after another. Bang, bang, bang. A dark fog began seeping from inside them, writhing and whispering with voices from beyond. "Run!" They sprinted down the hallway, trying to reach the front entrance. But every door led back to room 233. Over and over again, the school was folding in on itself. A trap. Then, from the center of the fog, something massive began to form. The entity. It had no face, just a pulsing black mass with dozens of hands, eyes, and mouths that screamed without sound. It towered above them, feeding on the fear in the walls, drawing strength from the memories trapped in this cursed place. But Jenna noticed something. Every time she took a step forward, every time she stopped running, the creature hesitated. "It feeds on fear," she said. What if we stop being afraid?" "That's not how fear works," Eli shouted, backing away. "It is if we fight it." They ran again, this time not away, but toward room 233. It had become a kind of nexus, a pulse at the heart of the school's nightmare. Inside, the old VHS tape still sat in the machine, spinning, flickering with static. Jenna pulled it out, and the room went dark. Silence. But then a child's voice came from behind them, the little girl they had seen earlier, her white eyes now gentle. "He's still in there," she said. "The real school. The one that remembers." She reached out her hand. Without knowing why, Eli took it. In an instant, the world melted. Colors swirled, screams reversed into silence, and they were falling through memory, through pain, through every terrible thing that had ever happened at Westbridge High. And then, they landed. Back in the basement. Back in their own time. The frequency machine was gone. The chalk symbols vanished. And on the ground, next to a burned-out speaker, was a note. "Thank you for freeing me. The past is no place to live forever. R.W." The school was never haunted again. Room 233 was unsealed. The hallway was repainted. The black mold never returned. Teachers went back to teaching. Students laughed again, and Westbridge slowly healed. No one ever found proof of what happened. No one but Eli and Jenna. And sometimes, on the anniversary of the day they first opened the door, Eli hears a faint whisper in the wind. Not all echoes fade. Some remember, some protect. They never spoke of it publicly. But every time someone mentions a cold spot in the science wing, or hears a soft hum behind the walls, Jenna just smiles. "They're watching," she says. "And this time they're on our side." Thank you, dear audience, for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified of our latest videos. Goodbye for now, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next stories.